So, hello everybody, and welcome to this video, which is a comparison between Ashes Cricket and Don Bradman Cricket 17, based on my thoughts of the two games. Now, before I start, everything in the background of the video is running at 2 times the speed just to fit everything in, because I couldn't find a way to make them split screen on the video editor that I use. But as soon as I figure out how to do that, I will upload a video of the two games being split screen. Now, before I do anything else, I just want to say that I probably won't be talking about anything that's better in Don Bradman Cricket 17, because I couldn't really find anything that was much better in Don Bradman Cricket 17, so I just like to say that before I start the video. But anyway, let's get straight into my first reason, which is the menus. The menus have been greatly improved in Ashes Cricket compared to Don Bradman Cricket 17, and they are now much easier and much simpler to navigate. And, well, mainly because everything is just on the one page and you don't have to swap between different tabs or even different screens. Like you saw at the start of the video when I was searching for a game while I was making a 5-over game, all the settings were just on a long list, and then some things like the team selection and the kit selection, which is on a completely other screen. All of that's just on one screen now for Ashes Cricket, which makes it a lot more simpler. So now that I've done the menus, I'm going to move over to the commentary now, which is not a very big strong point for Ashes Cricket, with the only real improvement being the commentary is that the commentary is now done by Michael Slater and Mel Jones and James Taylor. Mel Jones and James Taylor on Ashes Cricket swap around every 20 overs, so it's pretty cool. Although the commentators very often make the wrong call, which makes it not very good. And they also don't speak for very long periods of time sometimes. Like I've had games on Ashes Cricket where the commentators haven't spoken for about 4 overs at a time, so the commentary needs to be improved. So the commentary for Ashes Cricket is pretty much the exact same as the commentary for Don Bradman Cricket 17, and another thing that's pretty much the same on both games is the bowling, because with pace bowling, the only real new thing you can do is bowl bounces. That they've added the new ball, which is bounces, and there's nothing new for spin bowling. Although I can't really put the bowling down because there's so much different varieties and different types of balls that you can bowl in the game anyway. So we've got a new ball that you can bowl, which is pretty cool, which is bouncer. But other than that, everything for the bowling is completely the same as Don Bradman Cricket 17. So for a minute, I'm just going to divert away from everything that is the same about the two games, and I'm going to talk about the umpires. And I like the umpires in both games because on Don Bradman Cricket 17, the umpires' decisions actually had a chance of not being right. So when you use the DRS review actually had a chance of working, while on Ashes Cricket, if I feel I get given out, I know that I was out, or if the umpire says not out when I'm bowling, I know that LBW decision was not out. Although I've played 5 games of Don Bradman Cricket 17 just to get a good 5-over game for the video, and I had one DRS decision that I overturned, while on Ashes Cricket I've played a heap of career mode, a heap of the Ashes stuff, and I've only had one decision that has been overturned. So I like in Ashes Cricket how the umpires are right, because when you're playing club cricket you don't want to be given out for something that's not out. But I do like on Don Bradman Cricket 17 how when you use a DRS review it might actually work. So now coming back to the theme of things that are similar in the two games, I'm going to talk about the Stadium Creator. It was a new feature in Don Bradman Cricket 17, as you'll probably know, and I don't know that much about it because I haven't used that at all in Ashes Cricket, and I only used it for a very limited time in Don Bradman Cricket 17. Although from what I've been hearing, the Stadium Creator is exactly the same on Ashes Cricket compared to what it was on Don Bradman Cricket 17. So the Stadium Creator was something that hadn't been changed at all in Ashes Cricket compared to DBC, and I'm going to talk about something that hasn't been changed a lot, but I feel like it has been improved, which is the career mode. Now, with your player career mode, you now play 5 3-day games. Or, this is club cricket, sorry. You now play 5 3-day games, 5 50-over games, and 5 T20 games, instead of a bunch of T20s like you did in DBC. Yeah, so that is really the only difference with the career mode. But that's with the player career mode. But with the star player career mode, the star player career mode, from what I've been seeing, is exactly the same. Yeah. All you do really is the exact same as DBC. Licensed, and most of the players in the squads have also been actually face scanned, so their face is in the game now, which makes playing the Ashes a lot more realistic. And even when you make it to Australia, which I haven't done yet, for your career mode, it'll be extremely fun to see everybody's faces. And I've also played Steve Smith career mode. That'll be coming out on the channel shortly. But that you can see everyone's faces in the game. You can see Steve Smith's face. He's been recreated amazingly. Anyway, so that's the first real thing. That's the big thing that Big Ant has added into Ashes cricket, which is the licensing. And I didn't talk about how they have laser scanned all the major Ashes stadiums for all the men's and women's Ashes tour. So you got like the WACA, Sydney Cricket Ground, which is already licensed, the Melbourne Cricket Ground. What other stadiums are there? Trying to think. Adelaide Oval. Adelaide Oval's been done pretty nicely. Blundstone Arena, I don't really like the way they've done Blundstone Arena, but anyway, they've also done the Gabba, which the Gabba's been recreated pretty well. Anyway, and they've also added new bats, and the bats have been done from brands such as Kookaburra, Grey Nicholas, Icon, New Balance, and more. And yes, more. You can find more. You can download bats just like you could in Don Bradman Cricket 17 the same way. But yeah, the licensing is the new big thing for Ashes cricket, which was why the game was advertised for the licensing, and it was created for the Ashes tour. So now that I've talked about the licensing, which is one big thing that began to add into Ashes cricket, I'm going to talk about the other big thing, which is the motion capture technology that they've added, that they've used. So they've used motion capture technology to put real players' movements into the game. So I think they've mocapped Glenn Maxwell and Steve Smith for the batting. So you can have two batting styles, so you can bat like Steve Smith, or you can bat like Glenn Maxwell if you want to. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's cool because everything that you could do in the game is a lot more realistic, and for some reason the game is just a lot more fun when you're playing realistic shots. Another thing that this motion cap, I'm not sure if the motion capture stuff, it's probably just the program is doing an awesome job. It's the batsmen actually plant their feet, and they actually move their feet instead of just gliding into position. Although when you try and play a switch hit, it does still glide you around everywhere. But anyway, and it's not just the batters that have been motion captured. They've actually motion captured bowlers and fielders. So I actually like the new motion capture for the fielders, because you can actually, when the fielder's going to take a catch, they actually dive realistically instead of just jumping in the air and taking a catch that looks like they were jumping off of a cliff. Anyway, and the bowlers also look a lot more realistic. Yeah, so the bowlers look a lot more realistic now, although the bowlers still have some elements of like the bowling action that they had last year on Don Bradman Cricket 17, although it has been improved, their bowling action. So that's the other big thing that began to add into the game, which is the motion capture technology. Something that has been really improved in Ashes cricket has been the fielding. In Don Bradman Cricket 17, the fielders were just absolutely terrible. They dropped catches everywhere and misfielded a lot of balls. I only played like 5 games just for a gameplay, and in those 5 games I experienced many misfields, a lot of drop catches, and even players that were playing for Australia couldn't even throw the ball in all the way to the bowler. They just threw it in, and it would start rolling before it even got to the centre square. So that's something that they needed to improve from Ashes cricket, and I'm happy to say that they actually did improve that. And in Ashes cricket, fielders very rarely misfield balls, and I've only seen in my career mode, I'm the captain of my state team now, and I've only seen 2 drop catches in my whole career mode. So the fielders in Ashes cricket are very good, and the good thing about them in Ashes cricket is they can actually throw the ball. So yeah, they can throw the ball back into the bowler or keeper without it rolling all the way to them, which is a pretty good improvement from Don Bradman Cricket 17, where the fielders were just absolutely terrible. Although something that I want Big Ant to fix up on Ashes cricket is the stumpings when you are facing spin bowlers, because you go for a big shot sometimes against spin bowlers, and the ball, or you try and smash the ball, and for some reason your back foot just decides to creep up about 1.5 feet out of the crease, and you get stumped, which is pretty annoying, and you can't get back. So that's something that I want them to fix up with the game. It wasn't in Don Bradman cricket at all, which was that's something for Don Bradman Cricket 17, is the stumpings against spin, I just want them to fix up the stumpings against spin that happen. Move on, one of the things that makes me most like Ashes cricket is the new gameplay. That gameplay just feels a lot better and a lot smoother compared to old DBC games. And I don't really know why it does this, or it feels like this, but the gameplay just feels a lot better than it does on DBC. Yeah, but the gameplay on Ashes cricket is just a lot better in my opinion, and it's why I like the game a lot more than I do DBC. Now, the final thing I'm going to talk about before I end the video is how you can hit easy sixes, or not sixes, but pretty easy boundaries on both games when you're batting. Because on Don Bradman Cricket 17, I found it very easy. Just hold L2, use a bit of footwork, and you've hit the ball to the boundary. And I use the new controls on Ashes cricket, and it's pretty easy to just hit the ball. Just where do you want to hit the ball, time it, and you've pretty much hit it to the boundary, or smashed it to a fielder, one of those two. And that's the final thing I want to talk about, the easy boundaries you can get on both games, really. I don't know, I'm going to end the video soonish. I'm going to show, I don't know if it's already popped up or not, but I'm going to show like all of the like face scanned people that are in the game. I don't know if that's already come up or it's going to come up in a second, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. This has been my thoughts about both games, and I'm just going to leave the video to run out now. So goodbye.